Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Engine. For those of you who are new to my channel because of other videos and don't know what this is a free-form kind of podcasty series I've been running for I think 12 years now, where I just play Space Engine and talk about nonsense for 20 minutes. Either things people suggest I talk about or places I go in the game. I'll do whatever. I usually talk about science and technology. I don't talk about politics. I will talk about civics because that's fascinating, or political science. But people don't like when anyone gets opinionated, and it's like, yeah, I get that. So I love civics though. Like the whole concept, like that one video I did, the one video I did where it's like countries don't exist. That was more philosophy, but still, I enjoyed making that video, and no one got mad at me. So it's like, hey, look at that. Although somebody did get mad at me for making a joke about corrupt politicians in the Neutronium video, which I found funny because I wasn't even targeting anyone or anything. It was a stick figure, and politicians are usually corrupt. Like, it's just universal. But whatever. Anyways, um, yeah, I'm on the moon. I was making a video about moon money and getting B-roll. All right, so it's moon. There's Earth. I like Earth. I'm a fan of Earth. Earth's a good planet. I live here. Hmm. Yes. Beautiful. Anyways, where to go? Where to go? Anything interesting happening? Oh, Honda did that like vertical launch and landing test of a rocket. That was kind of cool. I hope that it does better than their robot programs did, because they made that like walking one like Asimo or whatever, and it just nothing ever came of it. They were like, look, our walking robot. It's like, that's neat. Nothing ever came of it. So I hope their rocket actually goes somewhere, because that would be cool. I love reusable rockets. I'm glad that more companies are doing reusable rockets. So we'll just go with that. Whatever happened to Relativity Space? I was like a huge fan of them, and they've kind of done nothing. After like they launched like their first rocket, and then immediately scrapped it because they wanted to move away from 3D printed rockets, which was like their whole shtick. And that might have been a bad move, honestly. I kind of wish they stuck with the printed rockets, but what do I know? God, this chair sucks. Like, it's just a very old chair. I don't like it. Oh well. Is that the Carina Nebula? It is the Carina Nebula. I was correct. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. There's Andromeda down there. Yeah. Vega. Hey, I was just reading about Vega yesterday, because I have nothing better to do, and I was like, how's that debris disk around Vega? And it's apparently very uniform, which suggests there aren't like major planets in the disk, but there could be some like Neptune-sized planets somewhere outside of it. We're not sure yet. Vega's kind of a dumb system though, because it's a very bright star. It's a short-lived star. It's similar. Well, it's younger than Earth. Or it's younger than our sun. It's like it's median age, so like it is midlife like our sun, but it's a younger star and it's gonna live fast and die young. Which is kind of like in the movie Contact when they got the message from Vega and they were like, "There's no way, it's too young, or it's blah 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 this that." They were correct. It would be a very bad place for life, but then again, they weren't from Vega. They were just the relay was there, which was fun. I don't want the Star Libra. Um, there's the large and small Magellanic Clouds. Those are always fun. Canopus. Hey, I like Canopus. Isn't Canopus the star that Arrakis is around? Or am I crazy? Oh, I might be wrong about that. I'll have to look it up. I know that Canopus shows up in science fiction a lot, but it. Well, here's an arid Terra, a hot arid Terra. If it wasn't this color, could be Arrakis. Whatever, not important. Hmm. Oh, speaking of science fiction, the first trailer for Project Hail Mary came out, and I'm kind of excited about that. It looks like fun. The book is interesting. I have kind of an odd and dumb relationship with the book Project Hail Mary, and it's all of my own it's basically all of my own making. It's of my head being stupid because okay, I was writing a book before I knew about Hail Mary, and then I learned about the book when it was published, or at least when it gained traction after publishing, and I was like, oh, an Andy Weir book. That's interesting. And I was reading through the synopsis, and it bore some similarities to the book I was writing, like just like not in plot, but in general tone and configuration, I suppose. And I was like, oh man, I can't keep writing this then because people will think that I just copied Andy Weir. And it really bummed me out for a good like few months until I decided just to keep writing. And I was like, I'll just finish it and go from there. And then after I finished it, I've been kind of like, I was like, do I want to pitch it to publishers? Or again, is it just like, oh, it's too similar to Hail Mary? And I got bummed out again. So I actually emailed Andy Weir and explained the situation and said, I need some advice. And he's replied back with like a single sentence or two, where it's just like, just tell your stories, keep going with it. You know, if you look close enough, all stories will look like others. And I was like, you know what? That's great advice. Thank you, Andy Weir. And so I finished it, and I have been pitching it, got some rejections, and I'm like, I might just like honestly, I might just post all of my books and short stories somewhere for free, because I'm not gonna make money off writing. I am not. I don't think I'm good enough for that. I enjoy writing for the sake of writing, so I might just make a website and just stuff all my stuff there as a portfolio, I guess. Like I have sold some copies of my short story anthology, but I think I've made like $50 off of that. Like it's not a lot. It doesn't matter. You can read them for free. I have a Booksy account that I publish them on. But point is, yeah. So that's kind of my thing about Hail Mary is I accidentally wrote something similar, not the same, but similar. Mostly in the concept of human encountering non-humanoid alien and trying to figure out how to communicate with them. That whole shtick on a spaceship. Only the differences are, in my book, he wasn't out trying to save Earth. There wasn't the whole plot with Earth being in trouble. He was just in an unfortunate situation. But there was a few things that were similar. Like in my story, the book starts with them waking up from hibernation, like suspended animation, same as Hail Mary, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. That's a fairly common trope. And then there's him talking about, like, there's one mention in Hail Mary where he talks about communicating with the alien Rocky, and he comments on pronouns are difficult and that he can't just continue calling them they because that's rude. And I had like that exact same exchange in my story with the guy trying to figure out how to talk to this creature or at least communicate in some way, and he concluded that calling it was rude, despite there not being any determination of what it was. But he just called them, and it was like that's better. And I still feel kind of uneasy about it because it's completely unintentional. Like the book I wrote was it was more of a not a continuation, but actually, no, let's go to Tau Ceti while I'm talking about this because that's where Hail Mary goes. Oh, it was the idea I kind of got from was a short story I wrote in 2019 called Pen Pals, which you can read. It's on Booksy. I'll link my Booksy below if you want to read them. They're not very good though. But yeah, it's called Pen Pals, and the story was about a geologist who was working for the Terran Federation people, and he was on some moon, or it was a Titan-like planet. This is not Tau Ceti. Oh, that's why. Tau Ceti. There we go. Yeah, like it's like it was a planet similar to Titan, and this feels wrong. Wait a minute. Tau City isn't a white... No, this is wrong. Oh, I know I'm doing wrong. I can't do two things at once. Tau Ceti, Tau... You know, let's just do this. Let's go to the planet, because I know they'll be right then. Anyways, so like he's a scientist, he's a geologist, he's on this Titan-like moon, and he's surveying around a methane lake. And he drops a piece of equipment. I think it was like a pad or a tablet, and he just kind of forgets about it. And then when he gets back to the landing ship, he realized, oh, I dropped my pad. I should probably get that. So he goes back out and gets it, and he finds that it was kind of tampered with, and there was some stuff moved around, and he thought that was strange. His first inclination was that somebody else on the expedition was messing with them, because the pebbles, like the ice pebbles, were arranged in a pattern, and so he arranged into a pattern as well as a joke, and then found out that it happened again the next day he was out there, and it is basically he started developing or he determined that stop moving, that there was some kind of intelligent life form that was living in the methane lakes. He didn't see them, he never saw them, but they were clearly interacting with the pebbles on the ground in the spot, and they used them, like him and this creature, over the course of a few days to kind of like ask questions and answer very basic stuff by drawing pictures essentially. And the creatures in the methane lake were aware of space, but they weren't aware of like star travel, because at one point it like made a simple like diagram of the star system they were in as like a question of, you know, which planet are you from, basically. So it's like they knew that they were alien, but they didn't know that they were from other stars. And the whole story was basically him learning about these creatures, and very, very basic communication. And then he decides to just kind of falsify his information, because in the chronology that story is set, there's not much here in Tau Ceti. The Terran Federation is not a nice organization. They are not good. They are very, very bad. So he decided to falsify information to try to prevent mining on the planet to protect these creatures, because he knew the government would not. So I was like, I wrote that, and it was a fun little cute story. But then I kind of was thinking about it. It's like, I love the idea of trying to communicate with a non-human intelligence, just non-verbally, because the idea of, oh, you can just learn their language is so dumb. As a huge Star Trek fan, I know I found Soul? What the hell? As a huge Star Trek fan, I know it's weird to say that, but yeah, honestly, I hate that concept of, oh, you can just learn to speak their language. It's like, no. So I started writing a book in the concept of a human with a very non-humanoid creature, and having to learn how to communicate with it and just kind of solve problems. And that's where it started. And then I realized that, oh, Hail Mary is very similar to that. Although Hail Mary's overall plot is trying to save Earth, where the plot in mine, it's a very slow story. It is not an action-packed adventure of any kind. It is just nerd techno crap. I wrote it in the concept of like me just being autistic, and the main character is actually kind of that way. Any planets here of note? Let's go here. But again, some of the concepts were very similar to Hail Mary, and I was like, oh, I don't feel good about that. But then Andy Weir told me not to worry about it, and I was like, that's good enough for me. That's a very close in orbit. Like, if we were to land on this here asteroid, can I click on the asteroid? Let's see if we can get really down there close. Oh, this would be great. I would love it. Like, imagine having a research outpost on this, and that being your view out the window. Can I speed up time? Oh, that's exposure. Oh, wrong button. Oh, that's labels. Where's the time? I always forget which buttons are. There we go. Oh, it's tidally locked too. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Let's just get rid of No. Wait, the labels are still on. See label simple. Whatever. I forgot the button combination to get rid of that. Point is, this is pretty. I need to write more, honestly. I love writing, it's just I can't necessarily devote a lot of time to things that don't make me money. And I hate that. Like, I hate having to spend so much time just trying to make money. It's dumb. Ah, there we go. And what's even dumber is I could make a lot more money if I just, like, put mid-roll ads in my videos, but I hate mid-roll ads so much that I'm not going to do it. No matter how much Google or YouTube tries to force me to, it's like, no, I'm not going to do it. It's invasive. It's dumb. I liked banner ads. Whatever happened to banner ads? You know, you go to a website and the ads are like in the margin or the side. That's fine. But now we have ads like in the middle of the screen and that break up articles and that pop up in your face. And it's like, I hate that. I hate it so much. I hate intrusive ads. Like, people who design intrusive ads should have their hands cut off, honestly. It's the worst. Oh, labels. Labels. Yeah, I'll turn labels off. Well, that was a fun little jaunt around the planet in that moon. I don't know what to talk about now. I kind of went off on books. I don't know. One thing I'm curious about Hail Mary is how they describe the ship some more. Because, like, in the book, they used, the virus that was killing the sun. They used that as fuel. I'm not going to give any details because I don't want to, like, spoil anything for anyone. But, yeah, it's like a very energetic fuel, and it's, like, relativistic. It took Hail Mary... Well, ship time, like 6 years to get there, and Earth time, I think 16 years or something like that. Something along those lines. I forget the exact actual times, but point is relativistic space travel. And I love that. In my book, our unfortunate protagonist, his ship was an antimatter beam core that cruised at 70% the speed of light, or just above it. Like functional light speed, where every light year is 1 year worth of shipboard travel. So it's functional light speed. But yeah, I always love when hard science fiction tries to answer these questions. You know, I wouldn't say that Hail Mary is super hard sci-fi. I mean, overall it is, but how the ship operates is a little bit loosey-goosey. But it's fine. We can go with that. I don't mind, honestly. Again, I like Star Trek, so science fiction does not have to be super hard. Kind of like The Martian. That movie was great. Even Andy Weir mentioned that he had to bend reality just to get him in that position because, like, a dust storm on Mars would not be that strong, and he knew that. Like, that was intentional. He did that just as a plot device, and I respect that. So, I do not mind if the plot demands a bit of loosey-goosiness. Like, even in my story, there's a little bit of loosey-goosiness to it. Right, the engines. The fellow mentions that one of the components in the engines are gamma culminators. Basically, mirrors that reflect gamma rays, and those are used in the beam core engine to get maximum efficiency from the reaction. Because, like, in real life, if you used a beam core, an antimatter beam core engine, you would get a lot of performance out of it, but you'd also lose a lot because the gamma ray photons would just pass through the ship. So, or you can't reflect them, you can't culminate them, so you'd lose a lot of energy, not in the direction you want. But if you could culminate gamma rays and focus them in one direction like a laser, then you could get all of the gamma ray photons pushing back in the plume, and you'd get much more performance. So, to make my the starship in my book just operate a bit better and also be a bit smaller, because it's like it's a Project Valkyrie style ship where it's a long tether with or an engine section on both sides and fuel, and it's only like a few kilometers long. because I didn't want it to be like 30 or 40 kilometers long. I just made it shorter than that. But the reason you can get away with that is because the engine uses gamma ray culminators. So uh, the main radiation hazard is like neutron and stuff. But yeah, again, loosey goosey technology. It's fine. It's not technically impossible. It's just we don't know how to do it. Or he also has like portable MRI machines, which are basically like thick, large, stiff sleeves that you like wrap around your body and plug into the ship's computer, and it'll do MRI scanning for you without needing a massive machine. How that works, I don't really explain it too detail. It's just like there's room temperature superconductors in the coils, so they can operate without needing liquid helium. And again, loosey goosey because we don't have those yet. So I have no problem if hard science fiction kind of oversteps in some places, just for the sake of convenience. Especially if it's something that that can be loosely explained. It's like it's fine. It's fine. There's life here. Oh, wait. Wait. No, go away. Wait. Oh, there it is. I was like, where's the life? Whatever. That's 20 minutes. I think I'm gonna end it off there before I start talking about other technology stuff. It's kind of like one of my favorite quotes is in Star Trek. Somebody once asked Mike Okuda, one of the designers of a lot of stuff. He did a lot of like a lot of like the visuals. He's responsible for a lot of that in TNG and onward. But somebody once asked him, how do the Heisenberg compensators in the transporters work? And he replied by just saying, very well, thank you. And I love that. It's a good response. It's just, how does it work? It just does. Or like Heinlein's total conversion drive in his torch ships. It's like, how do they work? They convert matter into 100% energy. How? They just do. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have ideas for places for me to go, let me know, or topics to talk about. I will talk about anything within reason. And with that, I say space.